Mom. Happy 9/11.
Hi, Mom.
It is 23 years from the day all of our lives have changed. You look nice for the camera. Mom, we were just talking about our earliest memories, and we were talking about our 9/11 memories. Tana believes that she remembers when she was 3 years old. I remember vividly because I was in school.
Because you were 43.
And my father worked nights, and he wasn't able to come pick me up because he slept through it. So while my mother's building was on fire and all the kids were left in school, I was like, when is somebody going to come pick me up? So I was, hanging with my boys.
Smart people.
And they were like, yo, your mom's dead. And I was like, what? No way. That can't be. Mom, are you crying?
Oh, you're muted, Maria.
Oh, you're muted. They were like, yo, son, your mom's dead. And I was like, nah, it can't be. It can't be. No, and I know she went to work that day.
How old were you, actually?
27. No, I was, 10, Mom? I was 10. Mom, you're muted, Mom. This is a terrible 9/11 interview.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay,
All
good.
right, happy 9/11.
It's a day I wish I could forget. I wish I could pass this day over. Go from September 10th to the 12th.
Actually?
And we just drove past Shanksville, Pennsylvania. So that's where one of the planes went down too.
Shanksville. I wish I grew up there. That's a hard neighborhood.
That's all you took from that? That is... I'll respond for Jeff. I don't understand, actually. I'll never be able to understand, but I can imagine it's probably one of the hardest feelings you've ever had to go through in your life. And that is what makes you a very noble, strong woman. And you're lucky to have
You're
that
the
as a
toughest
mother.
woman I know, Mom. You are.
Thank you.
You've been through hell. And part of that hell was because of me putting you through it. So,
Yes. Not going to lie about that.
yeah.
Not going to argue, actually.
Yep.
But
And
it was a tough day. It was 23 years ago. It's hard to believe. For a while I had survivor's guilt because I knew so many people that died that day. I saw so many people die. I saw people that I couldn't help, just waiting to be helped. But it was hard.
okay, Kyle, you could hit sound bites if you want throughout it.
Tell her you love her.
This is how we cope. That we have a weird, dark sense of humor. I love you, Mom, and I'm grateful you made it.
Building.
Yeah, but
I love you too, Jeff. What?
Mom, it still affects me till this day. I don't know if you know that, but I never revealed this before, but my last relationship ended because of a 9/11 conversation. I don't know if I should.
How do you deal with him, Maria?
This is nuts, and I'm gonna put this out there as respectful as possible because the last girl I dated, she was the sweetest girl. You got along with her so well. She was too good for me. She was too smart for me. She pushed back on the stupid things I said. She would challenge me, and I thought I didn't like that about her, but our relationship was like the debate last night, like the presidential debate. I would say something
You were
stupid.
definitely Trump.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
Oh,
would
boy.
just check me on it. And we went to see Dune, the movie Dune 2. She would call it June 2 because she's Australian. June. You do.
June.
Yeah, June. And the bodies were falling in one of the early scenes, and I was like, oh, that's what my mom said it was like on 9/11. And then we got into talking about 9/11 in the movie theater right into the first date. And
It's just like you're really not supposed to talk during movies. Oh my God. Have we ever seen a movie in theaters? I can't imagine that you shut up at all.
I try to joke around the whole time.
Oh my God.
In the movie. And right there, I brought up 9/11. Imagine me. I'm a terrible date.
Well,
I
listen,
bring
if
up
you think about
9/11.
it, you think about all the women that have had to deal with you, whether it was her, whether
Yeah.
it's me, a friend in your life. Think about your mother.
Yeah, but she was
Three times
so
the time.
Mom, she goes, well, what about the terrorists? Do you think they were born terrorists? Or you think they were made that way by the government? And now, in her defense, she grew up on the other side of the world. She wasn't personally affected by it. And I never thought of the terrorist's point of view, So that was a big argument and a deal breaker. And that was partially, one of the reasons why I realized it wasn't going to work out. We got a big fight over it. You know, I was like, how are you going pro 9/11 when I'm telling you that like my mom was in 9/11?
But do you think that just like your fear of intimacy and opening up might have just like allowed you to blame, like you blamed that one moment?
Yeah,
Wow.
probably. Yeah, I probably looked for an out.
I wasn't expecting that.
But
it
on the
was-
side of the terrorist, you mean she was thinking about, she was trying to defend the terrorist?
That is like so
She was
crazy.
saying that like, you know, you're a product of your environment, which is true. You know, those kids weren't babies, and they're like, I want to be a terrorist when I grow up. You know, like they were inspired by people. And look,
Maybe
now,
you have this conversation on September 12th, right? Like just maybe.
well, this is how I felt the night on the date. I'm like, this is the woman I'm supposed to like potentially consider spending the rest of my life with, and she's going pro 9/11. She's going pro Taliban, and I was like, look, this ain't gonna go
I don't mean to laugh.
nowhere. You know, like let's end this
It's not funny.
conversation, and it didn't end, and we just kept fighting over it, and I was like, damn, nice, Kyle. Yeah, bomb drop. That
Look
was
at her
the
face.
end of the relationship. So
How old was he when he started saying shit that you just couldn't like control what came out of his mouth? Like you were just like, was he like 10 and you were like, oh my God, this 10-year-old really just fucking said that?
No.
12, right?
He, a very sweet child. He was really a cute kid, really sweet, sensitive. I don't know. I think he
Gangster.
started getting,
Angsty.
yes, in junior high, which 11, 12 years old. He was, you know, when I would go to parent-teacher conference and they would tell me things, and I would be shocked because I never heard any other teacher say things negative about
Lies,
him.
lies.
Went to junior high.
Lies.
I can't imagine, because like I just think about how out of pocket you are. I can't imagine trying to be her, because it's like you have to go in and like defend your kid, and they're like, Jeffrey hit the teacher in the face, and then
Smoked a cigarette in class.
yeah, and then told everyone to go fuck themselves. So
Yeah.
what would you like to say? And then it's sweet Maria sitting there like, I don't know why he did that. I don't know.
I don't know what got into me either, because I had stage fright. I didn't want to go in front of the class and present like my project, my homework, probably because I didn't do it, but I didn't want to go with, if like they called on me, I didn't want to read in front of the class, and then something just flipped, like a switch flipped, and then I was like, I became the Joker of like the class clown.
There's got to be a catalyst, a canon event, a moment that, but I've asked you this a million times and you just say like something happened.
9/11.
Not funny. I didn't. I'm so sorry.
How
Immediately
could
not
you?
funny.
She's right here.
I'm not. I was more laughing
You know
at
what
the
she saw that
audacity
day?
of him.
But mom,
No,
seriously though,
I remember one parent-teacher conference when it was high school, and I was getting, you know, I guess the teachers were telling me a few negative things about you, and I'm trying to hold it in, and then I think you were with me too, and then you know, I'm saying, okay, I'll take care of it. I'll talk to him about it, whatever. And then we're walking in the hallway, and we found the stairwell, and we walked in the stairwell, and I remember I grabbed you and I held you up against the wall, and I think I was like yelling at you, but I held it in for so long, and I was trying to be nice to the teachers and respectful. And yes, I'll take care of. Oh, I'm sorry, he did that. And then I got in the hallway and I just
Finally let him have it.
I let him have it.
He should have taken a bat. She should have been.
she
the
did hit
OG.
me one time with the Mark McGuire power bat.
What's
She-
a Mark McGuire
It
power
was
bat?
this big blue bat that's like an air bubble on it, but it looks so much worse when you're getting hit with it because it's like an air bubble, but she whacked the crap out of me with this bat.
Yeah.
She was nuts. She was nuts too.
Well, I can't imagine one day my beautiful, sweet baby boy is just the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
I
what
ask myself that question every day, Tana. What happened to him?
Chaos. I'm an agent of chaos.
There's a beautiful heart of gold in there. Just a lot of
No, it is.
fluff that comes out before it. And you're the most patient one of them all. Listen, everyone should take notes.
I
Yeah.
love him to pieces.
There it is, that bat. Oh, it haunts me. That's when you found my report card hidden for like 2 months when I never showed you it. And it
Did
was,
you ever forge their signatures on their report
Hell
cards?
yeah.
I
Hell
always
yeah.
do that too.
I did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
look,
yeah.
I'm a perfect example that you could turn your life around and you can be an inspiration. And now,
Well, Maria, I just want to let you know that my thoughts and my heart and all my love is with you on this day. I know that a couple years ago we were together around this time, and I wish I could just give you a big hug because you always deserve it every day, but especially today.
Yeah, no, Mom,
Thank you.
honestly, I don't know what I would have done if things went differently that day. I probably
I would be very
would have
sad.
had
I
a
never-
career on SNL. Yeah, that's the stupid joke that I always tell. and
It
it's
was
stupid.
just because of Pete Davidson.
Yeah. No, that Mom. I try to be wholesome, and then I just can't. I can't do
You
it.
just can't. Yeah,
No.
you have so much of your father's traits.
I know. I know.
I just can't imagine never having met you, and I guess so many people that do feel that way. That's actually really sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
But, Mom,
yeah, about 9/11. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You're a warrior. You're a great mother, and I'm blessed to have you.
she is.
I'm an old man too. Even though you guys
Yeah.
whacked me with all types of different bats.
Well, they were just preparing you for 20 years later. They just didn't know.
Yeah. That
I
one
had
time.
to be tough. I
Yeah.
had to be tough.
Yeah, you were
But
very tough. You were very tough.
Nowadays, I think parents would get arrested. If they
Nah, it's
abuse their child, but you needed it, Jeff.
Sometimes I still need it, Mom.
Clip that.
Sometimes I wish you were still here.
I'm here to smack him if you ever need. Just send me a text and I'll right upside the head. Don't worry.
Okay, Tana, that's a deal.
I don't think he'll hit me back until like 10 years from now. And then like if we're off social media and there's less repercussions, he'll probably swing.
No,
one
I wouldn't
day.
hit her back. I can't. I'd get canceled.
He's
That's what I'm
good.
saying.
He's good. I hope
Unless
I
it was
brought
in
him
the
up
staircase. If it was in the staircase, nobody would see it.
Or maybe on 9/11.
On 9/11, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom. Well, we're all grateful you're still here, and you're an inspiration to
Thank you.
everybody. And don't
Thank
feel
you.
don't feel that survivor guilt. Everything's planned. Everything happens for a reason, and you're here for a reason. I needed you. I would be dead if you weren't here. I guarantee it. So, that's crazy. Survivor guilt. I never knew that about you. That you had that. That's a crazy
yeah.
feeling.
It just happens because you saw so many bad things that day, and
Like, why am I still here?
afterwards too. People just dying for no reason, and people wanting to be helped, and there's no way you could help them. There were handicapped people in the stairwell, in wheelchairs, and there was no way
Do not make a stairwell joke right now.
I wasn't.
you could
I
get
wasn't gonna.
get them down. Not even for the firemen. And I saw firemen going up the stairs, and as I'm coming down, and why are there's nothing that they could do. This is
Yeah.
terrible.
And it's
Now-
just,
There's
I can't imagine like replaying so many scenarios of like what ifs in your head and the amount of people that probably feel that way.
You don't
know,
think it
what
was
if I
any
did this?
conspiracy theory, right? You think it was 100% the Taliban
terrorists. Yes.
terrorists? Okay.
So,
was-
and even for a long time, I would just sit in front of the TV, and your father was getting worried about me because I would just watch
Yeah,
the
parents
cleanup
love
and
watching the
everything
news.
about the attack, and your
And you
father
just
was
want to
getting
know
worried
everything. I
that
can't
he actually
imagine.
took me into the city, and just to see, I had to see it for myself that the buildings were gone, and just what was left, and all the dust all over other buildings, and it was just hard to believe.
Yeah.
So and I'd be
crazy.
thinking, I'd have to get something out of my desk, and wait a minute, my desk, I don't have a desk anymore. I'm not going to go back there. I don't have an office anymore. I don't
Yeah.
have, everything's just gone.
And then you went right back and
So-
worked in the new building that they rebuilt.
That's awesome that you went back to work after that because I can't imagine the like PTSD and paranoia and like everything being different.
I didn't go back to the new building. I was working across the street from the new building, and I got to see the new building being built.
That's crazy. That's such a powerful sentiment that you still like step back up and faced all of that mental stuff and worked across the street. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw it every day.
It's really awesome
so-
that not only are you telling us this, but I think that so many other people who watch this episode will be mind blown. At least I am hearing all of this. It's crazy, very inspiring and empowering. and interesting.
Yeah.
You have such an
just
interesting
weird.
story.
Just knowing that the plane was about 30 floors above me, I think it was. So,
Less. You were on 44th, and it hit at like 60, 70, right?
about
They should make a
70th and
movie on
above,
you,
yeah.
Mom, and
Because
get Tana
the
to
building
play
had
you.
110 stories.
I play her no way in hell. She's Jeff. You should take some time and maybe that's your next documentary right there.
Well, it's a little dated now.
Who
you know?
cares? It's
They never made a good 9/11 movie. That's like the
her specific story is just so. You guys' story, your family story, is so interesting.
You know,
All right,
I
yeah.
could remember, should I call your father and tell him I'm leaving work? But time, was of the essence. And I'm like, oh, I know. He's probably sleeping now. And then I'd have to hear for 5 minutes how I woke him up. And I'd be like, you woke me up. I was
Oh my God.
sleeping and I just went to bed and blah,
That's
blah,
you.
blah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the building's burning and, I have to run out. But
It's
so I never
literally
bothered to
you.
call him.